Welcome back to today's second stimulus check update. Today, I specifically in this video want to address the second stimulus check. Where is it? What is holding up the second stimulus check? And also, what is the timeline behind these next stimulus payments? That's what I want to address in today's video. First off, hopefully you're having a wonderful Monday. It is currently Monday, August 17th. Do me a favor, if you could use an additional $1,200 in your bank account, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Now currently, you probably already know this, the second stimulus check is being held up. But what is currently holding up the second stimulus check? Yes, Democrats and Republicans can't agree on anything. That is currently what's holding stuff up. But that's not really what is holding everything up. They are the two problems, but there are other problems behind it, and I want to address that in today's video. We know Congress can't agree on anything, but what is it that they can't agree on? Because they've already agreed on the second stimulus check. And so a lot of people are wondering, why doesn't Congress just send out the second stimulus check? Pass legislation that will give the American people that $1,200 stimulus check for filers and the $500 for each dependent. Why don't they do that? What is currently holding it up? Well, I want to address that. Now here's what I want to explain first. Because in order to understand what is holding up the check, you have to understand the big picture. And this is the reason why it's so harder to pass a second stimulus check, unlike when they passed the first stimulus check in the CARES Act. So here's what I want to explain. I want to explain the ultimate prize. The ultimate prize for both the House and the Senate or Congress is they want to hold, they want to have majority inside the House, which Democrats have. They want to have majority inside the Senate, which Republicans have. And they want to hold the presidency. That's what they want. That's the ultimate prize. If you can get those three things, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that neither party wants to see Americans suffer. That's the good thing, and that's obviously it's common sense. But here's the problem. Based on multiple reports, these reports say that the parties are using this and looking at this as a sacrifice for the greater good. Now, when I say the greater good, I'm referring to their party winning the House, the Senate, and the presidency, gaining control. That is the ultimate prize, and they're looking at the American people as somewhat of a sacrifice. Now, that's horrible to think, but that's what these reports are saying. And based on all evidence that has been put forth from Congress, that's the way this is. We are being sacrificed for their greater good. Now, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or whatever, doesn't matter. What matters is that you have some money to live, to pay for things, to put food on the table, keep a roof over your head. Now currently, there isn't much risk for Democrats to lose control of the House this coming election. Based on all your reports, it's not looking likely that the House loses control. The Senate, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Let me explain the numbers before I jump into what is really holding up the second stimulus check. The Senate is comprised of 53 Republicans and 45 Democrats and 2 independents. Those 2 independents side with Democrats. So pretty much it's 47 Democrats, 53 Republicans. So a swing of 4 seats would completely change who controls the Senate. And you need to understand, if the House is controlled by Democrats and the Senate is controlled by Democrats, then they can pretty much pass whatever they want. It'd be very easy, except they need the president to sign it. So, if Joe Biden wins, then the Democrats would hold the control over the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Now, being that we only have 78 days from today until Election Day, things are only going to get more complicated and more complex. Now let's address what is holding up the second stimulus check and break down the timeline of this next round of stimulus. First off, in the main bill, okay, the HEROES Act versus HEALS Act, what you need to understand is the biggest thing that is the biggest obstacle is the price. $3 trillion for the HEROES Act, $1 trillion for the HEALS Act. That's the biggest obstacle right now as far as passing an entire package. They do not agree on passing an entire package because, number one, Republicans do not want to spend $3 trillion on a stimulus package. They actually don't even want to spend $2 trillion, and that's where the current holdup is. However, a lot of people have wondered, why don't they just pass the second stimulus check, maybe put some other things in there, and just get that passed, and then they can work on everything else later? Why don't they do that? That makes the most sense, right? Well, let me address that. So currently, the stimulus package negotiators, that is Nancy Pelosi, Charles Schumer, Mark Meadows, and Steve Mnuchin, they have spent 3 weeks or more trying to negotiate and work out some type of deal to get everybody what they need. Get money to the American people, work on unemployment, all that stuff, right? And the problem has been the price. Steve Mnuchin said, come with the price, and then we can determine what we can fit in there to work out a stimulus package that works for both parties. Well, that didn't work. The price was too high. So then what happened was Republicans and President Trump, they decided, let's submit this little package and let's see if Democrats bite. And what happened was it was a smaller package. It was more targeted to the specific needs of the American people, and Democrats said no. We do not want to pass a watered down smaller bill. We want a complete package. Well, it didn't happen. So passing a smaller package is to a very targeted group of people, gives the American people the additional stimulus that they need now. However, if you take into consideration the ultimate prize of gaining control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, this doesn't actually work. You can't go and pass a smaller package if that is what Democrats are looking at, is that ultimate prize. So, based on current reports, here's what is actually included in the stimulus package to the American people if it were to be, more watered down, a smaller package. Here's what's included. First, we have a $1,200 stimulus check, a second stimulus check, $1,200 to filers and their spouse, $500 for every dependent, I believe up to 3. We also have enhanced unemployment benefits. That could be anywhere from $400 to $600 per week. The length of time for that unemployment benefit is unknown. The extended eviction protection, currently, as it sits, there's no actual protections. This is, and I say this because the way this memorandum is written by President Trump in his executive actions, it says that there can be no eviction only if this prevents the spread of COVID-19. If it doesn't prevent the spread, you can be evicted. Also, school funding, $105 billion, testing and tracing funds, and most recently they've added funding for the United States Postal Service. Now, that is what's currently in a proposal or bill. That's again, a watered down bill, smaller bill that could be passed very quickly. However, here's the problem from a Democratic side. If Democrats agree to pass this, then Republicans will have no sense of urgency anymore to work on the rest of the HEROES Act or the rest of a stimulus package. Also, Republicans will look like they were the saviors to the American people in this instance, and Democrats will look like the bad guys. Well, this close to election time, that's not what Democrats want. So here's what you need to understand. Okay? Republicans, they said no to a complete bill because it's too expensive. Democrats say no to a watered down bill, a more targeted bill, because it doesn't actually meet their values. It doesn't give money to everybody that needs it. That's the problem. They both have different perspectives. They both have different sides. They both have a different solution to the current problem. From the Republican side, passing a more targeted bill not only saves the country from about $2 trillion in additional debt, but it also gets the money into the hands of the American people. It helps people get back to work. I didn't include anything for PPP funding in there because it's unsure as of right now whether that would be included in a more watered down bill. And it also helps people get back, or children back to school, and helps fight the spread of COVID-19. That is what is currently on the table. Now, are Democrats going to bite and jump on this? No, they're not. They're going to hold off. They're going to wait to try to pass and agree on a complete package. However, from a Republican standpoint, that's not going to happen. From a Democratic standpoint, it would be great to see everybody get money that they need, get money for businesses and testing and the virus and schools and state and local governments and the post office and everybody, money to everybody, right? That would be awesome. But I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that will happen. So let's talk about what is the current timeline, right? Because I know that's what a lot of people are wondering is, okay, is there going to be a second stimulus check? By all reports that I've been reading, there will be a second stimulus check eventually. It will ultimately get done. However, it probably will not be until sometime in September. That is what most reports are saying, that it will come in September is when the voting will actually happen and a bill will get passed. Now let's be realistic. Let's say it takes Congress a couple weeks to, after they come back from their August recess, it takes them a little bit to decide, okay, let's agree on this, let's agree on certain things, and they pass something. Well, let's say something gets passed on, it gets voted on, passed by both the House and the Senate, and gets signed by President Trump. Let's say all this happens on September 25th. Well, first off, that's over 5 weeks from now, but if it gets passed on September 25th, that means it took 3 weeks for Congress or our negotiators to decide to actually pass something that would work for both parties. Now, that should be plenty of time in my opinion. However, if this happens, Steve Mnuchin has stated that if and when a stimulus package is passed, he can get stimulus payments, direct payments to the American people into their hands within 7 days. So that means if the stimulus package is passed on September 25th and signed by President Trump, we should see direct payments to the first wave of about 50 million Americans through direct deposit on October 2nd. So as of right now, that is still a long ways away. That's a month and a half away. Many people have needed money for months. And now I'm telling you it's going to be another possibly 6 weeks before something gets into your bank account. I know it's horrible news. That's not what you want to hear. However, here's what I want to tell you is I'm just trying to give you the facts and the truth. This is what multiple reports are saying, and these are not just reports from other media outlets. These are reports from people within the Democratic side, the Republican side, that are close with negotiators. So because of that, I'm just, again, here to tell you this is what they are saying. Now, I will put a few links down in the description box below to show you different ways that you can go and make some money from home using the power of the internet. So if you have any questions whatsoever, go and watch some of those videos. Go and ask me a question in the comment section if you have a question, and I will help you out there. But again, thanks for watching today's second stimulus check update. Hopefully this gave you a little bit more information on what is currently holding up the next stimulus check, why we are waiting, why they don't pass a stimulus package that just includes the stimulus check. Well, hopefully this video answered all those questions for you. But if you have any more questions, please ask them down in the comment section below. Again, thanks for watching the second stimulus check update. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.